Hello, ladies. Let's perch. I am your hostess, Deshonda Lucas, and welcome to the She's Free to Fly podcast. By the time you're seeing this, it's 2024. It is time to grow, and let's grow in 2024. Okay. Our very first guest of the new year is the one and only Grammy nominated Queen Sheba.
Thank you so much for having me. Pew, 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 pew. Happy
Right.
New Year.
Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year.
Happy New Year. Man, Queen Sheba, I am so happy to have you here. You have some exciting things going on in your life, and you want to share the excitement, but you also want to educate your people. And
Absolutely all day, all the
that
time.
is it. That, when I say that rings to my heart, that rings to my heart. What good are the excitements, are the ebbs, the flows, the highs, the lows, the out of this world opportunities that you have coming on if we don't share them with the people? So, Queen
Right.
Sheba, I am going to allow you to just introduce yourself. Who is Queen Sheba on the inside first? Before
Oh,
anybody else
that's a great,
knows, like on the
that's a
inside.
great question. Okay. That's great. That's a great question. I don't think anybody's ever asked me that in particular before. That's awesome. So, ironically, and people who know me know this, but I'm actually kind of shy a little bit. Not shy like timid shy, but I'm actually pretty reserved. I'm ironically a homebody unless I have something to do. I'm usually chilling at home with my partner, soon to be wife, and hanging out with our dogs. Like I'm looking over at my dog now, sleeping, and just really enjoying life. And we adventure a lot. We still date each other, and I like hanging around people who like to take life by the horns. So, um, I'm a foodie on the inside that's always battling the adult athlete on the outside.
Right, right.
I love food.
Don't we all like,
Oh my
ooh, we
god!
have it in the
And at,
chokehold, okay?
and at this age, my body. Wanda Sykes said
Mhm.
it, but I was on the floor. At this age, my body wants cheesecake, French fries, and pizza.
Okay.
I I'm over salads and green juice and grass shots. I mean, I still do them. I'm like,
Keep going.
I do them out of necessity because if I don't, I would probably fall out from a diabetic coma. I love vegan ice cream
Mhm.
and Oreos and all of that. I
Give us a
mean,
good vegan ice cream recommendation, why don't you?
actually Ben and Jerry's has a vegan ice cream line.
Okay.
So look for so Ben and Jerry's, has
Mhm.
the what is it, pint size. So the brown top is regular and it has same cover, same
Okay.
everything, but look for the green
Green
top.
top Ben and
The
Jerry's.
green
All
top,
right.
green top Ben and Jerry's is vegan. It's
Okay.
delicious. They have double chocolate fudge vegan. Let me tell you
Okay. All
something,
right. We're about to go down the
man.
food hole, go down the rabbit trail.
Man, man, let me tell you. And of course, it's January, so everybody's like, I'm not gonna eat carbs for 90 days. Man, let me tell you something. Work out, eat you a good salad, have some ice cream every now and then or whatever one of your favorite foods is. I'm really over denying myself the joys of life. Everything in moderation, absolutely. But the inside of me, I like good people, good music, and I love to travel. My partner and I, we travel a
Okay.
lot together, and it's really great sharing life with someone. So my advice is find people that love you. I have a slogan that I started years ago, but I picked it up at the end of 2023 again when I was starting to re-campaign for the Grammys, and I was saying, "Go where you are loved.
Mhm.
Go where you are loved." And
Mm.
my students, I tell them at Clark, because I get them now, freshmen, they're 17, 18, coming into Clark Atlanta, and I tell them two things about life.
Okay.
Don't go where you're not wanted, and don't go where you don't want to go.
Okay.
Period. Ever. I don't care if it's Waffle House versus IHOP. don't go where you're not wanted, and don't go where you don't want to go. It'll save you so much headache.
So
And if
much.
I, of course, if I were to learn this earlier, but you learn it when you're supposed to learn it.
But we learn it to share it.
We learn it to
We
share
learn
it.
it to share it.
We learn it to
Go where
share it. And
you
I
are
tell people,
loved.
go where you are loved. Don't go where you are not wanted,
Right.
and go, don't go where people don't want you. And if they don't want you, okay, cool. I'm over here.
Right.
No problem.
Because I like me.
I like me. I
I
like me.
like
Yeah.
me.
Go where you are loved. That's my biggest thing from now until, the end of my
All right.
days. Go where you are
All
loved.
right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into this conversation about poetry. Let's get into this conversation about spoken word.
Let's do it.
You are a spoken word artist. You have actual albums that people can find on Apple
Actual
Music
albums. Yes,
and music.
absolutely.
Like a lot of people don't know that. There are a lot of people who may write poetry and they don't know that you can have an album and you can post it, and it doesn't have to be singing to a tune. You can speak. You
Right.
can speak your music. Tell me about
That's
your
right.
spoken music.
So I have 9
Hmm.
albums, and the most recent one, A, You're Not Wrong, B, They're Not Either, The Fuck It Pill Revisited, is a collection of me saying, go where you are, fuck it. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to be me to the fullest. I'm going to sing if I want to sing. I don't care if you don't like it. This is what I want to do. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it horribly. I got
Hmm.
coaching and training,
Hmm.
and, but I sound like me,
Right.
and I don't rap, but I do some rants that are on the album that aren't necessarily poems. I do some poems that I had written in my book, and so I did those. And I tell poets all the time, like, you're always in the booth, you're always recording. Why not record it, make an album, and then submit it to the Grammys, or submit and become a member of the Recording Academy? So we need at least 100 poets a year to be a part of our category. Otherwise, we get kicked back to books on tape. Now, I don't know if they're going to do
Okay.
that. That's just me, trying to encourage poets to do it. But their stipulation was we need about 100 poets a year to submit to this category, to say, hey, we're legit. We're a legit category. We're a legit genre
Hmm.
that deserves a place at the elite big table.
Right.
And the Recording Academy, the Grammys, it is the highest honor that you can get in music. And I don't care if you like them or not. Everybody has their rules.
Hmm.
Clothing stores have their rules, clubs have their rules, restaurants
Right.
have their rules. So if you don't like the rules, then of course, don't join, but don't join and then, complain. Like,
Right.
talk to me, talk to other people that are a part of the Recording Academy. There are about a little more than 10 chapters, I believe, the major cities around the
Okay.
US. And we're all educated enough, especially poets. We need y'all to say, hey, we're dope. Let's have a seat at this big
Okay.
table. My album is professionally made. It's professionally produced and
Yes.
recorded. I have some friends on here that are singing, rapping, whatever you want, however you want to create your album. You can even do a live recording. It only has to be 20 minutes long.
Wow.
And poets have, notebooks and notebooks and notebooks. And I'm like, hey, we're recording anyway. You're in your booth anyway. Why not make it a professional album and then see where it goes? I mean, get your music out there to more than just, our local friends and family on TikTok and Instagram.
Right.
Let's see how we can really change the world. We've been talking about this since the early 90s. So here we are. Let's take advantage of
Wow.
it.
So, do you feel welcomed? You are part of the Recording Academy.
I do
How
feel
does the
welcomed.
Recording Academy make you feel welcome?
Well, the first thing that the Recording Academy did, and this was spearheaded by JIV, who won last year, who won the 2023 spoken word and poetry
Mhm.
category. He spearheaded a Zoom call between the executives
Okay.
of the Recording Academy and the heavy hitting poets all around the country. There were several poets on there, myself, Paul Wall, Georgia Me, of course, like I said, Jay Ivy spearheaded it, Jessica Care Moore, Malcolm Jamal Warner, several other poets that were just part of the Zoom call. So there were 2 Zoom calls, and after saying what we wanted, and then we were negotiating what spoken word is, because of course they came back and said, well, if you do a whole album of music, then is that still spoken word? Because we're saying, hey, we have a microphone, and we do spoken word live. And we were like, yeah, absolutely. It's just like, if I would love to work with Kendrick Lamar. I love him. I would love to work with, who wouldn't want to work with Drake, right?
Let's put it in
Everything
the
he
air. Let's put it out
touches
there.
turns to gold. So, let's go, Drake, but whoever, like, so it's like if they said, hey, come do 16 bars if you're a hip hop artist, is the same. You can procure a poet to do the same thing. And so we were saying, yes, absolutely. Like, just because we're speaking words differently, it's like saying country music and R&B. It's just a different genre. And of course, we put music behind it because sometimes we hear music, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're saying, hey, this sounds like hip hop or rock, or this sounds like, just something of me yelling a cappella off the top of a mountain. And so they said, okay, well, your album has to be 51% poetry.
51%.
And so we were like, okay, 51%. So, you can have it. I think Sekou even had an orchestra with him. And Ashley Hayes has worked with a really popular band. Forgive me, I forgot the name of that band right off the top of my head. It went out the window, but I'll get that from her and give it to you for your post. But yeah, so it doesn't even matter. You can do whatever you want creatively on your album, as long as 51% of it is spoken word. I mean, you can rap if you want, you could sing, you do whatever. And they said, okay, but we need you all to outreach to these poets and say, hey, come join the family.
And that is exactly what you're doing. We've been on this episode for probably less than 10, 12 minutes, but you have named so many artists, and you are not only here for yourself, but you're here for your poetry community.
Let me tell you, it's January.
Okay.
God willing, I win the Grammy. It is not, yes, of course, it is going to immediately change my life. Immediately. That day, walk out the door, life has changed forever. I totally
She's Free to
understand
Fly.
that.
We're going to be a part of the change of life.
A part of the change. But not only does that do that for me, it has now changed the narrative and the trajectory for the entire spoken word community. It did it last year when Jay Ivy won. He's an actual spoken word artist. It wasn't somebody who did books on tape. It wasn't somebody who read a novel and won. Jay Ivy is a bona fide, legitimate, been doing spoken word also for more than 20 years. And it's funny now that we're being reintroduced to the world, people who didn't know us at all. And now they're going to say, oh, overnight success. No, I've been doing spoken word for 22, going on 23 years. So this overnight success, what will look like an overnight success will actually be 22 and a half years long. So again, God willing, and good luck to everybody, of course. God willing, I win the Grammy next month. It will change the life, the narrative, and the trajectory for spoken word, period. It is every time a spoken word artist wins that category versus somebody who reads a book on tape. Right? That's a big difference.
Are they
So
part of the same category?
they shouldn't be anymore. They still have a books on tape category for presidents, Barack Obama, Ed Withers. Those are people, Michelle Obama, who've read their books, and now we're winning that category. And so that's why we got on the phone, or we got on Zoom. We're like, look, we're spoken word artists. They're reading books. We're never going to be able to compete with Barack Obama. Barack Obama's going to win over us all the time, but give us our own category where because the Grammys is about your peers voting for you. So, and the reason that you or, our friends and family can't just vote for us because they're not part of the Recording Academy. They're not part of the music industry. You might be an architect. You might be a librarian. So that's not something that's in your everyday. And so it's in the Recording Academy rules that the people who are part of the Recording Academy have to stay true to voting in categories that are part of their everyday.
Okay.
So I wouldn't go vote in a heavy metal category.
Okay.
I don't listen to heavy metal every
Okay.
day. I would go vote in an alternative rock category. I would go vote in a blues or a country category in R&B, right? Because that's I understand. I'm probably familiar with those
Mm-hmm.
artists. I get
Mm-hmm.
that. So it tries to keep it on the level as much as it can. So that's why we were like, look, we need our own category. They were like, okay, got your own category. Last year when J. Ivy won, it said to the world, spoken word is
We are
legit.
here.
We're real. We're working. We're out here. We're grinding. We're busting our ass. We're hustling just like all the other genres. And it also says, hey guys, work with us
Yes.
also. Hey Thundercat, pick up a spoken word artist for your album. Hey Robert Glasper, pick up a spoken word artist for your album. And he did 3 times, 4 times, right? So it's saying, hey, producers, hey, R&B artists, hey, let's work together. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh, I would love to work with oh, I just talked about him earlier.
Who is
I'm about to tell you. My library. I'm looking at my
so while you look that up,
li-
while you was talking,
Leon
Keon
Bridges.
Leon
Leon,
Bridges.
Leon
Yes, I
Bridges.
know exactly who you're
Leon
talking
Bridges.
about. Leon Bridges.
Oh my God, I love him.
Yes.
I love him.
Yes.
Leon Bridges, sir. Can we please work together? Rasan Patterson, can we please work together? Marsha Ambrosius, you already worked with a poet before. Let's go. Let's do it again.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it
Let's
again.
do
People
it.
already think we look alike, Marsha.
Yes.
So let's work.
To go to, and
We're
she's
still
working, I think, on something with Dr. Dre now. So even to work with Dr.
Dr.
Dre on
Dre.
something,
Pick up
come
a
on.
poet. Dr.
Yes.
Dre, come on.
Let's
go.
get it. Let's get it.
Yeah. Dream, Tricky, come on. All these producers. Mike Well made it. London on the track. Let's do it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Because as the great Andre 3000 said, the South got something to say. The spoken word artists have something to say. Okay? Come on, Queen Sheba,
Absolutely.
say it.
Absolutely.
Say it. I love it. Man, I have a question. Where did you find your voice? So many people don't know where their voice is and have found their voice. How did you find your voice?
It comes with, I think I've always wanted to be an educator / news reporter.
Okay.
So I've always been like, hey guys, I've messed up my life. I've made these mistakes. Let me tell you about what I did, and here's some solutions. You don't have to use my solutions, but be better than me, be stronger. And speaking of Jay-Z, he said when he was on the track with, I think it was Lil Wayne, I think it was Lil Wayne. And when he was, yeah, it was, because it was Carter and Carter. He was like, go farther. He was like, go further, go farther. If not, why bother? So everybody that's coming up, the younger poets and generation, go further than us, do more than we did, use the social media, use TikTok to travel the world. Let's go. Like, just do more than we ever could. We were on trains and buses, and I hate to sound like an old fogey on a porch, but that's how we got around, and then there was couch surfing, then there was Airbnb, then there was Southwest where we could afford plane tickets, then there was a point system with Marriott and Delta and Hertz rental car, and I mean that's maybe what 10, 15 years old. That wasn't at the beginning when we started. So now that that's all there, you guys go further. What you want, little girl?
First, there was Carnival Cruise. I was on a vacation because I traveled quite a bit, and I'm actually taking a group on an international trip next year. First, there was Carnival Cruise that we could afford to get on, and now we're doing these adult-only Virgin cruises, and these luxurious cruises. Let's go further. I tell my daughter,
Tom
be better than
Tom Joyner. I wish he wouldn't have stopped his cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Joyner, come back, do another cruise, add a poetry night.
At a poetry night.
Add a poetry night. Now that you got Grammy award-winning artists,
yes.
And look, I understand that by the time this podcast airs, there won't. J. Ivy's the first. He will always be the first. He has broke the mold and made history. Now that people will have more than. So there are 11 poets now that are officially Grammy nominated, right? last year's 5 and this year's 6. And there's 6 this year, still 5 albums, but there's 2 brothers, Sean and Prentice Powell, who are on their album.
Okay.
So it's myself, Aja Monet, Kevin Powell, um, Sean Williams, and Prentice Powell, and then Jay Ivy
Okay.
again, who's nominated again. So there's now 11 of us. So okay, now we've been stamped with the gold seal of
Right.
approval. Pick somebody, pick the people from that came from Def Poetry Jam, and do a poetry night. Tom Joyner, let's do these cruises. And I am not to think that people would go on an all poetry cruise, but poetry and live music and R&B,
See, why not?
absolutely.
There are a lot
Absolutely.
of people that love poetry. Even like
Oh,
me and
for
my
sure.
girlfriends, we went and listened to spoken word in the city of Lithonia, like downtown Lithonia, a couple of weeks ago. And 2 of the other girls, they went last week. Like, poetry is, I think, a song of the heart to many people.
Oh, nice.
I really do. Even to me, it's a song of the heart. It is the expression of self. And we like to not only hear self and move to self, but feel self on the inside. So poetry night on the water sounds good to me.
Hello?
Poetry
I
on the
love that.
waters.
Oh my God, you better write it down before I take it.
Hey
I love
man,
that poetry.
poetry night on the
You know what?
waters.
Let's do it
Let's do
together.
it. Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it. We could go to Lake Lanier and rent one of those boats and do poetry
We'll
night on
go
the
to
water.
anybody else's lake.
We just won't let anybody off the boat. How about that?
Baby, there is
That's only
one
one of them.
place Deshonda Lucas will not go.
Okay. All right. Okay. How about this? Because this is what I've learned.
All right.
Let's start with our local
Yes.
community and then build it from
All right.
there, right? So, okay, I'll meet you in the middle. Let's go to Savannah.
Let's go to Savannah.
We can
We're
go to
going to
Savannah.
Savannah. This
Go to
is
Savannah.
how it happens, people. This
This
is
is how it
how
happens.
it happens.
Yep.
Just like
So
this.
Queen Sheba, Deshonda Lucas, and Queen Sheba, however
She's
you
free
want
to
to bill it.
fly.
I don't even
It's
care.
going to
Free to
Savannah.
Fly and Poetry versus Hip Hop Productions.
Yes.
We are going to Savannah this summer.
This
We're gonna
summer,
claim it.
and we're having
This
poetry on
summer,
the water.
2024. Poetry on the water, dinner and 2 hours of poetry.
Yes.
Loop the boat around the lake a little
Yes.
bit. Come back.
Yes.
Everybody
Let's
get
just
a
rent a bus.
hotel room.
Let's rent a bus. Drive everybody
Rent a bus, get a
down.
hotel room.
Stay the night.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
We can get one of those hotels to give us some block
Yes.
rooms, and then just have an after party and the DJ when we
Let's
get
do
back from
it.
the hotel. Oh,
Why not?
it's planned out.
Done.
Yeah, it's
Done.
done. And we got our what's it called, intellectual property. Don't be taking our
Right.
idea now, y'all.
Right. Right. You're
It's already
gonna
recorded.
see somebody trying to do it. But
they're not gonna call it poetry on the water. They're gonna be like poetry on the lake.
no, poetry on the waters.
Don't even. We got all the waters. We said water.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Man. So tell me about some of those spoken word highs and those spoken word lows.
Poetry is a very intimate genre, and I don't mean intimate like small. I mean intimate like we love a room full of people where people are sitting shoulder to shoulder,
Okay.
even if it's 1,500 people,
Okay.
right? So my poetry highs are when I'm in a theater
Mm-hmm.
or any venue that is poetry specific.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is it's not at a sports bar with 12 TVs on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not at the new restaurant where the wait staff is unfamiliar with the night and they're just trying to sell as many daiquiris as they
Mm-hmm.
can. When it's at a place where it's poetry specific,
Okay.
the room is packed and people are hanging on everybody's every word, and every poet has a different take
All right.
on whatever their story
All right.
is. And you can hear the room erupt, clap, cry, cheer. It doesn't matter where it is in the world, any country, any place, it has been amazing. Poetry
Wait,
lows
before you get to the
are
low, and where was your
okay.
first time?
For a poetry high, I would say I started as a spoken word artist in Norfolk, Virginia. I lived there for 12 years. And I used to host an event called Urban Safari every other Friday. It didn't matter what the date was. It was just every other Friday.
Okay.
It wasn't first and third. It was just every other Friday for like 5 years. And we had a DJ. He was actually the founder of Urban Safari. And he played acid jazz. Sorry. He played acid jazz and world music. And we packed 200 to 300 people in an art gallery.
Wow.
And it was just a floor, a microphone, wood floors and brick walls. The acoustics were amazing. You had to you opened the door, walked up some steps, and you just walked into this energy of what in the hell? And every other Friday, everybody worked hard between those 2 weeks to come back with a different poem, a story to share. We added singers. I mean, it just was a microphone and you.
Right.
And that's pure poetry. It's amazing. There was no band to drown you out in the background. There was I don't know, no blenders, no vendors trying to sell their edibles or jewelry or whatever it was, trying to make a sale and to survive the night. It was just the DJ, microphone, two hosts. It was myself and a brother named Godchild, and a floor. And that was it. And I planned my life around that every other Friday. When I started going on the road as a full-time spoken word artist in 2001, 2002, I planned my life around that.
All right.
People would be like, "Can you come on such?" Nope, got to get back.
Okay.
Got to get back on Thursday night or at least first thing Friday morning. And I would not miss that for the world.
Wow.
It was amazing.
That is amazing. Did y'all hear that history back there? Did y'all hear that 2001? She told y'all she's not an overnight success. That's
Yes,
lifetime success. But some people just have overnight access.
Oh, I'm writing that down.
Some people just have
lifetime
success.
Lifetime. I'm writing this down for real. I love that.
Hey, it's yours.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Lucas.
It's for you.
Not overnight success, lifetime success.
Lifetime success. And some people just have overnight access. They just got access to you overnight. Everybody don't have access to you. People get access in their seasons.
Yes.
Okay. So,
absolutely.
All right. All right. Now let's get to the spoken word lows. What are some spoken word lows?
Some spoken word lows are the constant travel. And sometimes the travel can be erratic because you literally know malarkey. You literally can be in Prague one day and Lithonia the next. And I'm not saying either one of those places is the low. I'm saying the travel itself, the exhaustion, the extreme. You could be getting on a plane, then a train. Today, I was working with my college agent to work out the travel and hotel arrangements for my upcoming college tour this spring. Okay. And I'm looking like, oh my God. Like sometimes the colleges are in such obscure places that you land in Albany, New York, you drive an hour to one school, you spend the night in some weird hotel that you've never heard of. Hopefully it's clean. You get up the next morning, drive 2 hours. Like it can be very exhausting. And even though colleges pay really well, it's definitely the bread and butter of a lot of performers' lives. You're spending the entire week away from your family. And so that can be hard too. It could be hard on relationships. It can be hard on marriages, partnerships, because especially if your partner has a 9 to 5 or at least something that keeps them, local, or people are working, from home and they don't have that flexibility to travel with you or the finances, then, it can and put on a strain on wanting to balance love and financial stability.
Right.
So
I heard Waka Flocka talk about how the college tours can be lucrative years ago. So yeah.
Oh yeah. He's so fine.
All the way.
Oh my goodness, he's
all the way.
I know he's married, divorced, whatever. I don't really follow
Mm-hmm.
him like that, but man,
I mean, there is nothing wrong with appreciating the creation of
of Waka
Waka Flocka
Flocka.
and many other like men and
And
women.
many others.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with
Yes,
appreciation of God's creation.
man.
Okay, so I'm with it.
Speaking of beautiful
Mm-hmm.
women, what's her name? Ari Lennox?
Oh yeah, she's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah,
SZA,
she's beautiful, beautiful,
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. All right, all right, all
Yes.
right. Now when you're performing, let's talk about when you are performing. And I watched some of your performances just researching and learning more. I absolutely love how you will stop mid speech to interact with your audience. Incorporate them. It's almost like you got a freestyle going on. You insert a freestyle into a prepared piece. Absolutely. How are you able to do
So
that?
it actually started as, and I wouldn't say an accident because nothing's an
Mhm.
accident, right? It actually started as a, I don't want to say by accident. It just happened one day. I just had a thought in the middle of. I was like, you know what, if I could think back to when it started. My homegirl T Miller, an amazing poet out of
Mhm.
Detroit, which is where I'm originally from, but I didn't do poetry there. I didn't start my poetry there. Um, I have a poem called "We Are the Women." I do it all the time. But it's dated for
But it
sure.
is dated, but it is so current and it is so relevant. And I absolutely
Thank you.
love it. Your publicist put
Well,
me
let me say
onto
this.
it.
There's a part that's dated. How about
Okay.
that? There's a part so the part that's dated is when I say something about your blackberries and something, 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 right? And so one day we were performing together. She said, "You ever think about updating that part?" So, well, I took it a stride. I know she said it out of love. I mean, because wherever matter of fact, I think we were doing Georgia Tech
Okay.
together
Okay.
with Jericho Brown. Some other. We were on a tour. We were on the Revolution tour. What's the name of that tour? We were on an LGBT
Okay.
tour. It was all women poets. And we were at Georgia Tech,
Mm-hmm.
happened to be on the tour, and I did that poem, and afterwards she was like, you ever think about updating that part to like, Instagram, MySpace, TikTok, whatever,
Okay.
And I was like, huh. Well, because whatever I was saying in that
Mm-hmm.
piece, it isn't relevant to today's
Okay.
generation at all, right? And so I was like, why not? And so I think that's where it
Okay.
started. I think the next time, like, because we had already performed and she was giving me this feedback. And I think the next time, and I got to that part of that poem
Mm-hmm.
particularly, and I said, wait a minute, you guys, how about the such 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 such? So the audience is with me, they're cracking up, they're adding stuff for
Okay.
me. They're like Vine, not Vine,
All
but
right.
whatever, you know what I mean? They're like, what's the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat, the blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah, right? And so I found myself doing that with a couple poems, just having fun. And I think it helps me just relax where I don't, where I have a moment to engage, where I'm not just belting out these poems at you.
Okay.
So I stop in a moment and say, hey, I recognize you, audience. I'm here with you. I see you sitting there. Let's join in my conversation. And, we can just laugh because my poems are heavy.
Look, they can be heavy, but they good though. They are good.
I
And
appreciate
they
they
are
can be heavy. So
provocative and they make you think and they make you open up and they make you shed everything that you have covering yourself. Okay?
I want your heart to be broken open when
All
you
right.
leave. That's what I want. I want your heart to be broken. I want you to change your mind about something.
Okay.
And when you leave my set, if I'm a part of a bigger showcase or if I'm, doing the solo
Okay.
feature, I want you to change your mind about something about your life by the time. I want you to feel empowered to change something,
Okay.
anything. And so I think that's where it started. I think that's where the whole let me stop in the middle. And what's ironic is that I now see plenty of poets doing
Oh,
that.
how ironic.
Little bit,
Hmm.
little tidbit. And what's interesting is that men are always given credit for such
Okay.
innovations. And when I watch a couple men and some women do this thing that I do,
Mm-hmm.
I just I never say anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just do me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have always been told you can always tell the originator, especially if they're in the same room.
Because
Especially if in the
man
same room.
may never say your name, but God will always let them know that you were in the room.
Yes, absolutely. So, and I am not the judge of
Mm-hmm.
anybody. I do whatever you need to do for you, and the game will lead you in the direction you're supposed to
All
go in.
right. All right. All right. All right.
Hmm.
Um, so when I listen, I hear you are part of three communities. Okay. And the three communities that I hear and see.
Oh, wait. You know what? I'm gonna write them down, and I bet you're gonna say them. I got a whiteboard right here. Hold on. Don't even. All right. I got this whiteboard. I'm about to write
Okay.
down. I don't even know. This is from an old slam. Hold on. You're gonna say this one.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna say this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna say, and the reason I'm writing them down is because I'm hoping that this is what my work conveys, right?
Okay. Okay.
Because if you're getting it, okay, go.
Guess what? We're gonna make them wait for a minute. We're
Ah!
gonna make them wait for a minute. Oh no, we're gonna make them wait. We're gonna make them wait for a minute. Because now they're
I
wondering.
love
Now
it.
they're wondering. We're gonna make them wait for a minute.
I love
Okay.
it. I love it. Okay.
Let's go here. Let's circle back
Okay.
around to the Grammys. Let's circle back
Okay.
around to what it means. Let's circle back around to the timeline. Let's circle back around to the process of being Grammy nominated, casting votes for the Grammys, the timeline, the deadline, and the opportunities that we want to share with our viewers.
Okay. So you said three things. So I'm gonna go over the
Okay.
process for becoming a Grammy. So it's two different
Okay.
things. The Grammys, you know what? Let me say this. To my
All
understanding,
right.
the Grammys is the event that culminates the end of the year, the music year for the Recording Academy. They made up their own calendar.
Okay.
Whenever they decide to have their event, that's the
All right.
Grammys. So it's like saying going to the
Okay.
VMAs or going to the
Okay.
Oscars, right? So you're getting a Grammy
Mm-hmm.
award. The Recording Academy is the name of the organization that has chapters in large cities around the country that us as poets should
Okay.
join to maintain our
Okay.
category. That's my understanding. If I'm wrong, somebody from the Grammy/Recording Academy, please come in and change that. But that's my understanding, is that the Grammys
Okay.
is the event that happens in January,
Okay.
February every year to celebrate the people who have won their
All right.
category, been nominated and
Mm-hmm.
won. It is there are a lot of rules that we have to follow as Recording Academy
Mm-hmm.
members, and there are a ton of
All
benefits.
right.
So to become, and I'm speaking specifically to poets, so to become a Recording Academy
Mm-hmm.
member, depending on your no, actually, it doesn't depend on your chapter. It is $150. It used to be $100. 2023 is now $150.
Okay.
$150. You blow $150 a week
Easy.
on
You blow $150 at a
Starbucks.
night out in Atlanta.
For sure. For sure.
Okay.
Gas, Starbucks,
Mm-hmm.
poetry night, dinner, drinks, $150.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say $150 a week. It's not a month. It's not a quarter. It's $150 a year
All right.
to, I'm sorry, I was feeling a little dizzy. I don't know what just happened. I
No,
apologize. I
no.
really just, um, it's $150 a year to join the Recording Academy. How you join is this. You have to find 2 people that are already voting or professional members. There's only 2 categories, voting or professional members. I'm a voting member. Most people that are professional members are like Sony, Arista, record labels, whatever, right? That's usually the professional members, producers, I don't know, agencies. Those are usually
Relationships
professional members.
matter.
Relationships matter. So you have to find 2 people that are already voting or professional member, and they give you a recommendation. It is not something that you can type and give to them. It is on our Recording Academy dashboard. You don't have access to it. You can't get access to it. So if I wanted to nominate, so you can come to me and say, hey, Sheba, I'm a poet. I would like to join the Recording Academy. Would you mind writing a recommendation? We would have a conversation, because this is the other thing. We only get 2 recommendations a year, March to March. So we have to be very specific about who we nominate. So if you came to me, well, I like to use Big Bird and Cookie Monster so nobody catches feelings. Big Bird comes to me and says, hey, Sheba, I would like you to recommend me for the Recording Academy. And I have a conversation with Big Bird, like, hey, I mean, I don't really know you like that. And I haven't seen you around at all. I've never seen your work. I don't have something to reference. And Big Bird, but I'm like, hey, these are some things you could do to gain a recommendation from someone else, anybody, whatever, come to more open mics, get involved with the community, start a blog, start a podcast, write more, put out a book, put out an album, blah, 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 blah. Then Cookie Monster comes to me and says, hey, Sheba, I'm a poet. I want to become a part of the Recording Academy, part of the Atlanta chapter. I would like a recommendation. And I'm like, oh man, yeah, I've seen you. Let's do it. And I hate to say it's like or not like, but obviously it's your recommendation, so you got to put your name on it, right? So then it's my responsibility to go home, log into my dashboard, and recommend Cookie Monster. And it's nothing, you can't write the letter for me. I think they even ask us a couple questions in there. So it's not like, how like you trying to get a job or you trying to get into a grad school. Yeah, send this in for me, right? Nope, you can't do that. The person that recommends you has to make the effort to do it.
Integrity.
So it's integrity, and it's a big deal, right? Because now I got to go home and say, all right, well, let me fill this form out and da-da-da. So now you need 2 of those. It is best if you get them at the same time or around the same time, so that when the Recording Academy receives them, they're like, oh, shoot, we got 2 recommendations. The other thing is you have to be in your field, poet. You have to be working as a spoken word artist for 5 years before you can get into the Recording Academy.
Okay. All right.
You have to have 5 years of a resume, and of a decent resume. Because remember that the Recording Academy is the elite of the music industry. It is the highest award at the moment that you can get in the music industry. Yes, there are other music award shows. Absolutely understand that. But it does not compare to the Grammys.
This is business.
Right? It is business. So you have to be a spoken word artist / poet. You can be a poet. Poet is fine. You can be a poet or a spoken word artist or both. Author. You can be an author, right? Because we're talking about authors, books on tape. Blah, blah, blah. You can be that. You have to be it for 5 years before somebody can recommend you, before the Recording Academy will even look at you, because they're like, well, what you been doing? Like, why should you join our elite club? Right? Why should you not even club? Why should you get to join our elite family? Because once you're in, as long as you pay your $150 a year, you're in forever.
Okay.
You're in forever. Right? So you need 5 years already before you even come for recommendations. 5 years of a above curve resume, right? above curve resume, 5 years, 2 recommendations, and your own website.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you something. It is interesting to me that I can name 100 poets that have 2 out of 3 of those things. And the website is ironically the thing that most poets don't have. And I don't mean a one-page PDF EPK. I mean an actual functioning click here, read this bio working website. Book me, merch,
Right.
social media feed, whatever.
Merchant account.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Merch account, exactly. Working
Mhm.
website, right? So you have to have those. You have to have 5 years, 2 recommendations, and your own website. This is what we as the poets negotiated with the Recording Academy on Zoom in 2020, 2021, that these were the requirements that poets had to have. Okay? You don't even have to have whatever. So those are the requirements first. Then say we turn in your recommendation and the Recording Academy then sends you an email that says, hey, DeShonda, 2 people really love you. Fill out this link and become a member. That's it.
Right.
That's it. You fill out the link, you pay your $150. They'll send you an email reminder every year. Hey, looks like your $150 is due again. It's February, January, or whatever. This is January now. So January 2nd, they're going to be like, hey, DeShonda, hey, next week your membership is due. Click $150 again. Keep it moving. That's it. That's it. You got a profile. Now you have your own profile on the Recording Academy portal.
Okay.
So you update your bio, add stuff about you, et cetera. So people can check you out. Now, the benefits of becoming a Recording Academy member, I just got an interesting text. The benefits of becoming a Recording Academy member is several things. The things that I have benefited from, and I don't even know all of them. They have a partnership with Healthcare Marketplace. They have a partnership with them. So through the Recording Academy, you can click a link that will take you to part of the Healthcare Marketplace through Stride right now is who's going through. And you can, as an artist, pick your healthcare for $0, $12, $14, whatever you put your information is in. Another thing is through Music Cares. That's through Music Cares. Through Music Cares, which is I think it's their nonprofit arm. Forgive me if that's wrong, but at Music Cares, I think it's their nonprofit arm. So once a year, you can get your teeth cleaned for free.
Okay. Now you have dental.
So all you got to do when the link comes to your email, when you're now you're a part of the Recording Academy, read those emails. Don't just spam junk. Nah, read those. Read those emails. So then you get your teeth cleaned. You can get your teeth cleaned once a year. They're like, hey, here's the email. It's first come, first serve. You fill it out, absolutely free. You show up to I think it's a mobile dental unit somewhere in Atlanta. I think last time I was in 5 Points. You get an appointment going, get your teeth cleaned. If you have more issues than teeth cleaning, they may be able to address them there, or because they're a local, dentist group, then they'll say, hey, come to our office for further care.
All right.
But teeth cleaning, we should do twice a year anyway. Now you got one knocked out for free.
All right.
Another thing is that they send out, they're doing a new thing called Seen and Heard, SCENE, like the poetry scene, right? And so that is an open mic. You sign up for free and you go and you network with other Recording Academy members. It's not always poets, but now that you're on this list, on this email list, so the Atlanta chapter will send out a thing saying, hey guys, we're doing a Seen and Heard for February. Click on here if you want to perform. You click on there, fill out your name. I'm a poet. They send you an email back. Cool. You're going to be number 12, whatever. Come show up, tell people about it. The other thing is they send out networking events, workshops, panel discussions, all available and free to Atlanta chapter Recording Academy members. And of course, I'm just talking about the Atlanta chapter. Of course, you're also on the national Well, it's actually the world email.
Mhm.
So Recording Academy is not just America. This is the world, people.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why it's
Okay.
that's why
I
it's
didn't
such a
know that.
big deal. This is not just America, right? Well, think you got country music or Japanese music or whatever. It's coming from all over. It's not just coming from
Right.
America. I mean, America might dominate,
Mhm.
the Recording Academy, but the Grammys, but this is the world that gets to see you,
Okay.
right? So then they'll send out, hey, we're having a brunch. It might be $1,000 a plate, up to you if you want to go network. Hey, we're having a panel discussion. Hey, we're going to be at the gathering spot.
Mhm.
Hey, we're going to, whatever. So all those opportunities are there for you to decide if you want to be a part of that. It's just a whole new family and community of people for you to get to know. You can also be a part of Grammy U. Grammy U is where you, as now you're a professional, you've been 5 years in, you're a voting member, and Grammy U says, hey, you're a professional in your field. Why don't you teach these college students how to do what you do?
Okay.
And so that's another way to be involved and to get more
Mhm.
exposure. They also have nonprofit boards and charities that you can join, that they do all the time. You can also join the music advocacy group that happens once a year. This year was virtual, so people were able to join from all over
Oh,
the world, which was great. And we get involved with our government and say, hey, don't censor our music. Hey, don't use our music to put us in jail. Don't put our hip hop artists in jail just
right.
because they're bragging about some
Right.
ridiculousness, right? So those are the benefits of why poets should become a part of the Recording Academy. It does take some effort and some steps on your part, but it's absolutely 1000% worth
That's
it. I
good.
have been a member of the Atlanta chapter since 2007. I was a member 2007, 8, 9, 10. I think I took a break because I don't think I put out an album again until last
Okay.
year. I didn't I didn't have an album for over 10 years, and so then I repaid my membership,
Back again.
re yeah. Did I have to get recommendations again? I'm not sure if I did or not, but I had to go through the process
Okay.
again, resubmit my resume, and then they were like, "Hey, welcome back."
Baby, she's
So
back and
now,
she came back with a bang. Okay.
hello. Okay, so that's the
All right.
process. So have your own website. Two recommendations have to be 5 years in your
Mhm.
genre. Those are some of the benefits: networking, healthcare, medical coverage, dental care, um, meeting people around the world,
Access.
travel, whatever, right? And then you asked me something
The voting
else,
process
the
and
voting
for
process and the
yes.
deadlines. So your album has to be released between. Actually, I'm gonna say a date just to be safe, but this might be further out than
Mhm.
necessary. Your album has to be released between October 1st or 15th
Okay.
and August
Okay.
31st of whatever year.
Mhm.
So if you have a new album right now and all you have to do is release it between, I think it's October, let's just say October
Okay.
15th, October 15th through August 31st
Mhm.
of
All
next
right.
year, you can release an album. What we mean by released, poets, is that you join United Masters, DistroKid, or CD Baby. You have it professionally produced, mixed, and mastered.
Mhm.
It has to be 30 minutes. It can be live or recorded or both.
Okay.
That's fine. Has to be at least 30 minutes. It can be longer. That's fine. It can be as long as you want. My album, I think this time is like an hour and some
Mhm.
change. As long as you want, have as many tracks as you want. It could be one track of a live performance for 30
Okay.
minutes. It has to be 30
All
minutes long.
right.
Malcolm Jamal Warner last year submitted an album that had 5 tracks on it.
All right.
It was 30 minutes long. He had skits, he had some narration in between, but it was 5
Yes.
tracks. Um, it has to be 30 minutes long. You have to release it between October 15th and August 31st of any year.
Okay.
It has to be on one of those platforms and digitally released out to the world
Mhm.
on Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon Music, It'll get released on YouTube. So it has to have digital distribution,
Okay.
which comes automatically with United Masters, DistroKid, and CD Baby.
Okay.
All you have to do is go through the process of uploading your album to one of those three. Right now, I use CD Baby for years. Right now, I'm on United Masters. It's cool. I like it because it, say you and I are on a track
Okay.
together, I can automatically split my royalties on the portal with you. So
Okay.
when the royalties come out, which is 4 times a
Mm-hmm.
year, I get a royalty check just like Cardi B gets a royalty check. They might look a little different. But
Getting it.
so when the royalties come out 4 times a year, it automatically sends you
Okay.
yours for your track, for the track that you and
Mm-hmm.
I are on, or to my producer, or to whatever,
Okay.
right? So um upload it to one of those 3 platforms, get it digitally distributed. So now June comes around, you're going to get an email from the Recording Academy. It's going to say, hey, you have to upload and submit your album by August 31st to submit your album.
Okay.
You have to submit your album if you want to be considered for the Grammys. Now, here's what's fun, poets. Now, this is a game changer. I'm going to say this twice. Want to say hi? Come up. Say hi. Come on. Up. Come on. Come on up. See my friend here? Say hi.
Hello, beautiful.
This is Charlie. She's a girl. Make me a little hot. Okay, get your stinky breath out of my face. Come on, beat it. All right. She's a sweet girl. All right, go lay down. She's like, it's hot. I want to get out of here. So here's the fun part. I'm going to say this twice. Poets, you do not have to be a Recording Academy member to submit an album. I'm going to say it again. Right. So all that process I just told you, that you do not have to be a Recording Academy member, voting member, or professional member to submit your professionally produced, digitally distributed album to the Grammys.
People in the back, did
Why?
y'all hear that?
I'm gonna say it one more time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Because this is why poetry outreach is so it's so heartfelt to me, because I understand that some poets may, I think you have to go outside. Can you wait 1 second? Lay down. Lay down. I'm gonna get you out. Lay down. Good girl. Thank you so much. Y'all got to get yourselves a German Shepherd. They're the best. Best friends, so loyal and super smart. Why it's important to me, why this category is important to me, is because it is easy for us to find 100 poets with a professionally produced, digitally distributed album, because you do not have to be a Recording Academy member to submit your album to the Grammys. Let me tell you why. You just find yourself a Recording Academy member and say, hey, I have an album, but I'm only a year or 2 in. But I love my album. I did a really great job on it. And I would like to submit it to the Grammys. But I'm only a year or 2 in. I can't be a voting or professional member yet. But I got it professionally produced. I got it mixed. I got it mastered. And I'm going to say, all right, let me hear your album. And I'm going to listen to your album. It doesn't matter if well, of course, it would be great if I loved
Okay.
it, but that part doesn't matter, right? I'm going to say, okay, cool. Let's do it. And so I can submit as many albums as I want in the Recording Academy. Now, I'm going to give away a little tea. As a Recording Academy member, you can submit up to 5 albums for free. Right now, they might change that. Girl, I wish I would have knew. I could have brought me someone.
It's magic.
Hello, sweet phone. Hey, boo, hey. So, we can submit up to 5 albums for free, and then after that, there is a fee associated with submitting the 6 and beyond
Okay.
album. Because you got to think, record labels have more than one person on their
They
labels,
do.
right? So if they have more than 5, sit down.
Okay.
If they have more than 5 or 6 people, then they would need to submit it. and then hey, then you're in there. And so that becomes, after August 31st, everybody's album has to be submitted.
Okay.
Now what happens is the first list that will come out will have everybody that has submitted. There could be 4,000 poet, whatever, I'm exaggerating,
Okay.
but let's say 150. It'd be 150, 175 albums listed in the spoken word poetry category.
Okay.
That's fine. That's
All right.
perfect. That's the first round. Now your job is to promote your album,
Okay.
not yourself. That is the Recording Academy.
Okay.
This is not a vote for Deshonda Lucas.
Right.
This is a, hey, listen to my album. Is my album good?
Listen
Is it
to She's
professional
Free to
to do?
Fly.
Listen to
Free to
She's
Fly.
Free to
Got
Fly.
it.
Right. Because the Recording Academy is about the professional elite recordings of
Got
artists.
it.
And we don't want to make this a popularity contest, even though we know it's going to be.
Okay.
Let's be real, right? So then our job is to promote our albums. Listen to my album. So if you go to all my posts, like tomorrow, today's the 2nd, so 3rd, 4th, all my posts for the last 21 days have been, listen to my album. Here's my track. Listen to this track.
So let's tell the people right now. Listen to, come on, give it right now. Right now. Tell them.
So listen to A, You're Not Wrong. B, They're Not Either. The Fuck It Pill Revisited by Queen Sheba, which is nominated in the spoken word poetry category. So listen to the album and let me know what you think.
Awesome.
Yep. And the album is up for your consideration. So if you are a Grammy voting or professional member, my album is up for consideration. And and so you cannot tell people, go vote for me. That's not what this is about, that at all whatsoever. It is about saying, hey, poets, you've made the album, you did a great job. You might be 1 or 2 years in, you don't have your voting membership yet. Let me help you
Yes.
be the next award-winning, Grammy award-winning poet spoken word, because your album is dope.
Okay.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And so that's why Jay Ivy, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Amanda Gorham, and the other 2 people, please forgive me, who last year broke open the mold and said, boom, these are our albums. This is what's amazing. This is what's elite. This is what's dope. So come check us out. So this year, listen to the 5 of us. Listen to Aja Monet. Listen to Queen Sheba. Listen to Sean Williams and Prentice Powell on the 3rd album. Listen to Jave Ivy, and listen to Kevin Powell.
And what is your favorite spoken word piece on your album? Today. Let's say favorite today.
Oh, okay. Listen to Changes.
All right.
Listen to Changes.
Okay.
Listen to Changes. Listen to Changes. The song is written by a young singer-songwriter. Her name is Prod. And she lives here in the southwest side of Atlanta. And I heard her song and I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Can we please do a remix? I would love to have it on my album. She said, sure, why not? And look at where we are.
The Grammys. Okay.
Well.
All right now.
So, listen to Changes, listen to Reconstruction, listen to They Say, so many.
Okay.
Hey, sit. Stop doing circles.
Okay.
Just like your
right,
kid.
Right. Okay. We're gonna let him go out. All right, we're gonna end here. So usually at the end of each episode, I ask people.
Oh, hold on. We gotta tell people what you chose. Oh, okay. My bad.
I usually end by saying, can you share with the audience something that you feel would set them free to fly? Okay, that's usually my question. But for you, my question is different. So through my observation, I feel that you represent speak to, speak for, receive from, give to 3 communities. And for each community I call out, please share something that you feel would help that community specifically become free to fly. Okay.
Okay.
One community is that of a woman.
Yep. Boom. All right. Wait, I gotta get another one to cover it up. Hold on.
She said, boom. All right. And that's number one. All right.
And is number
All
one.
right.
Of course, We Are the Women. Of course, We Are
Yes.
the Women. And on this album specifically, Watch Me Run and Changes.
All right.
Yep. We Are the Women, of course. Definitely listen to that. Watch Me Run and Changes are the ones that pop up for me
Those are the
automatically.
songs.
All right.
But what is the message that you want to share with the women to become free to fly?
Is that we live up unapologetically. I know it's hard in Atlanta. One, we are the gay capital of the country right now, and also there are more women here, even straight women, than there are available men. I totally understand that. However you find your partner in life, I did not find my partner here. My partner, we now live between Raleigh, North Carolina, and here. So I've met her in North Carolina several years ago, but that's not what this podcast is about. But anyway, so don't settle for a partner that only has some of what you want. Everybody's not perfect, but there is a perfect for you. There is a perfect for you.
So no
Absolutely.
settling allows the woman to become free to fly.
No, and the message is you can do anything without permission. You don't need permission. I'm gonna share something vulnerable within this poetry community. Up until about 3 or 4 years ago, out of my 22 years, I felt like I needed permission. And I was like, man, bump that. I don't need permission. I'm going to do what
Permission
I do.
to do what?
I'm over here. Be greater. Leave some people on the curb. To say no when it doesn't suit me. Yeah. No permission. And no explanation needed. That's big for me. I don't even need to no. No is a full and complete sentence. No. No, thank you. No, thank you. You don't got to say why. It doesn't matter. Why? It's Friday.
I choose something different for my life.
The sky's blue. Yeah. Don't matter. I got on pink socks. It doesn't matter. No, thank you. Not today, thank you.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Community number 2.
All right.
The LGBT.
Woo!
All right. I heard it. I got it. I got it. All right. All right. Before you tell me.
Okay.
One thing I just heard you say that I can appreciate as a woman, as a heterosexual woman, is that sometimes people feel like if you live in or if you operate in the LGBT community that it's not okay to be straight. But even hearing you talk, you don't villainize someone who chooses to be straight or chooses to be different. You don't. You said what you said is I know it's hard here in this community because women are, outnumber everybody else. You don't villainize any community. And for that, I appreciate. And I have to say that out loud because, yeah.
Oh my God, I got tears in my eyes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now that you can't, who are we to judge anybody?
Who are we to judge anybody?
Let me tell y'all something. I am clumsy and a messy eater. I am not here to judge anybody.
Right.
I am purposefully and intentionally working on me every single day. Being with my new partner, I curse way less if you saw me substitute some words. And it's interesting, and I like it.
So your partner
you can only
bringing out better in you. The person I want to be with is the person that brings out the best in me and I bring out the best in them. The person who encourages me to live the fullness of everything that God created for me and vice versa. So
and let me say, and let me be clear, just because you curse, I curse, or whoever curse doesn't make you better or less, better or less. It's just that for whatever reason, it resonated with me. And now when I say words that I normally would have spewed off the tongue, I'm just like, ooh.
It
I'm
created
like,
change.
it,
Changes.
yeah, because with the virtual everything, recorded everything, you're on the internet
Yes.
forever.
Yes.
So my child, my students, my
Yeah.
grandchildren are gonna go back and be like, what kind of mouth does she
Yeah.
have?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I realized, here's another vulnerable moment, tears in my eyes. I realized I was using curse words as a crutch to hide my insecurities, or my
Mm-hmm.
nervousness, or my
Mm-hmm.
quirkiness, and I realized I can be quirky and fly.
And fly.
I thought they were
Yeah.
separate. I thought if you were quirky, you couldn't be
Mm-hmm.
fly. Nah, I'm quirky and
Right.
fly.
Right.
I got on bamboo earrings and pearls
Do it.
and
Okay.
stripes.
Why not? Why not?
I love. I'm
Are you good with you? As
yes,
long as you're good with you, that's all that matters. I was thinking this
absolutely.
morning, I said people will condemn the way a person sings a song. They will condemn the way something sounds, but they afraid to get up and even speak in public. How in the world can you condemn what somebody else is doing and you won't even speak in public? So all right. All
Hmm.
right. So what is something you want to share for the LGBT community to
Um,
set them free to fly?
so specifically on this album, I want to say that I have a song called True Religion that I wrote. It's a love poem that I wrote for my partner. I started writing a series called Love Poems for Lesbians because every time I go to like an LGBT specific open mic, it's always like, I'm gonna I'm gonna dick you down, girl. I'm like, oh my God. Like, Lord, can we have softness and love?
Oh, right.
Like, and and I feel like lesbians, we're always trying to, show off our sexuality to impress each other, put up our peacock
Mm-hmm.
feathers, so to speak. So I just was like, hey, you know what? Let me do a love poems for lesbians. And True Religion has sex in it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I love
Okay.
sex. Man, do I. I am a Leo, honey.
Okay.
So, love poems for lesbians, please check
All
out
right.
on A, You're Not Wrong, B, They're Not Either, The Fuck It Pill Revisited on my current album. And True Religion is produced by Robert Glasper.
All
So,
right.
yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, and Like an Apology, um, is also a love poem for lesbians. And it is produced by Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Okay.
So
We're doing some things.
yeah.
Connect. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they guest produce each one track, and the rest of the album is split down the middle between Linnea White, who goes by Triumph
Okay.
Reigns as her producer name, and then a brother who lives in Clayton County. His producer name is Clayco.
Clayco. All right, Clayco.
Clayco,
Okay.
Clayco,
Okay.
Clayco.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, local local
Mhm.
geographically, but not in their
Right.
experience. They are Atlanta producers, and they are
Atlanta
amazing. And
producers are running it.
they're both coming out to LA to the Grammys. They're both coming out there. And Robert Glasper will be out there. He invited me to his jam session. So I'm so super
Oh,
excited to do some poems with some musicians.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
super
we're gonna
excited.
uplift you because
So
that's that Kendrick Lamar feature. That's that Drake feature. Those features. Let's call them out. That's that Dr. Dre. That's that Marsh Ambrosia feature. Come on. Oh, come on. Let's call it
let's
out.
go. Let's go. Kendrick, me and you should be doing a song
I know.
together.
I'm gonna talk to my son and I'm gonna let him know to hit you up. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
He did
Thank you. So,
chance.
oh, and Meek
Yeah.
Mills. Meek Mills too. Meek Mills, I actually have a tribute to you on my album. It's not as it's not like your Dreams or Night. It's called Dreams and Nightmares 2, TOO. And I love Dreams and Nightmares. I think that shit goes so hard.
Okay.
And so I did a poet version of Dreams and Nightmares. So Meek Mills, you inspired, of course you inspired it, right? You inspired it. You were the muse for it. And man, I hope you
A
mess with it.
tribute to Meek
I get
Mills.
it. It ain't yours. It ain't yours, Meek Mills. I get you. Meek Mills is fine too
Okay.
now.
A tribute to Meek Mills.
Well,
Okay.
tribute to Meek Mills for
Yes.
sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. I would love to do some work with him.
All
Okay.
right. So
So true religion and like an apology for the LGBT community on my album. But of course my album
And the
is for
message
everybody. So but
is,
those
what's the message?
and the message is um let's the message is let's stop abusing each other in these same-sex relationships. Period. Quit this domestic violence. Let's love each other. Let's um let's be the example.
Yes, because love is
Let's
patient
be
and
the
kind.
example. Love is patient and kind, and we are the women. We're the lesbians, so let us be the
Yes.
example
All right.
of
All
love.
right. All right. Final community is this community of this beautiful brown skin. That is what my thought is.
Boom.
All right. All right.
So that tells me
Yes.
that my writing is doing the work that I sought out to do, seek
Your
it out.
writing is serving its purpose. Your writing, your
Thank you.
words, your
My
energy.
writing is serving its purpose. I definitely want to I said upload. I want to definitely uplift Black
Yes.
people, Black women,
Yes.
all women, everybody with
Yes.
all everybody that identifies as a
You can
woman,
be all
right?
of those
Woman,
things, or you can just be one of those things.
or you could be just one of these
Yes.
things, and that's exact. So this is the focus of my work. Now, I of course write things specific for the brothers. I have an older poem called Heroes. That's for y'all. And I write what I
All
feel.
right.
You know what I mean? And I'm an expert at being a Black woman LGBT.
Okay.
And so that's where I write my
Yes.
experiences from. And I hope that my story helps to uplift, other people. I had a shitty, horrible ex relationship. It was horrible in the end, especially. And I, honest to God, not romanticizing it, gave up. I even made a Facebook post and and said, "Hey guys, I'm just I'm just going to." My friend is texting me. I'm just going to. I lost my train of thought. I hate when people text me in the
I
middle
made
of
a
a podcast.
Facebook post and I just
I
said,
made a fake you. I made a Facebook post that said, "Hey guys, I'm just going to work really hard for the next 17 years. I'm going to have some lovers along the way, and that's about it.
okay.
That's all I'm doing."
Okay.
But God has different
Right.
plans. And when I decided to put God at the forefront of my life 3.5, 4 years ago, my life changed. And sometimes you're not dreaming as big as God is preparing your life for.
Okay. I felt it.
And
I
my
felt
shoes,
it. I felt it. I felt it. Okay.
shoes fell over everything. Yes, sometimes your dreams aren't big enough. You don't even know that you're not even dreaming big enough. I'm about to share something with you because you're in my first podcast of the year. Obviously, it's the second, right? That I have not said on any other podcast. I am not now, because I want to say that
Okay.
first. I am not now, but I was about to go into hibernation. I was like, all right, what am I doing? I'm a professor. I produce poetry versus hip hop. I didn't know what to do next. Poetry versus hip hop is going great. I mean, that's fine. That's wonderful. We're going on a city winery tour all over the country. That's great. That's amazing. Me working at Clark, great, amazing. All right, what else do I do? I was like, all right, well, and then I was about to say her name. Oh my Lord, I was about to say my partner's name. I was about to say, and then my partner showed up out God Center. And I believe that to 1,000,000,000%. I couldn't have picked a better person in the world.
Wow.
And my life has changed
That person that
in the
has you
last
live your life in God's purpose all out. Congratulations.
because I said, God, you guide. I'm done leading because I'm doing this wrong. Obviously, I'm doing this wrong. God, how about you take the wheel?
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So what is our message for the Black community?
It overlaps, intersects with the others. We need to stop asking permission. we need to stop looking for affirmation from outside of our community. We need to stop comparing ourselves to people that do not look like us, that do not have our best interest in mind.
You making me get out my chair. You making me get out my chair.
We need to get into these political spaces and make change.
All right.
We need to get into these universities, be educators.
Yes.
And we need to 100% all the time believe that we already have earned space at the table and a voice in the
Yes.
conversation.
It was said, and so it is. It was said, and so it is. You have definitely inspired me. You said we need to be teaching. I need to get back to teaching.
That's why teaching poets about how
Yeah.
to become Recording Academy members, or how to at least elevate their craft to help to find if they want to,
Right.
go places in their career.
And this is the platform for the teachers. It is. I hear it. Okay. Man, Queen Sheba, this has been absolutely amazing. It has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation. I don't even like calling it interview. It's just a wonderful conversation between women. And I thank you.
Thank you so much.
I thank you for sharing. I thank you for informing us, educating us. I thank you for exciting us, inspiring us, for uplifting us. I wish you the absolute best 2024 that you could ever imagine. I wish it to
Thank
be
you so
bigger
much.
than the dreams that you have. Because I know they've gotten bigger, and I believe it's
And
yours.
I didn't know they could, and that's what's
Yeah,
important.
they can get bigger. My dreams for
They
She
can.
Is Free to Fly, they're even bigger. It's 2024, time to grow. Like, they're bigger. They are bigger. And I look forward to our poetry on the waters. And so we will definitely.
We claimed all the waters, y'all. You heard
Y'all
the
heard
S.
it.
All the waters.
Waters. Poetry on the waters.
Lakes, rivers, streams. Don't be trying to be like poetry on the
Mm-mm,
stream. Nope.
Poetry on the waters. I look forward to these collaborations, and I definitely encourage everyone to listen to Queen Sheba's album, to spread the word, to consider the voting. So I really appreciate the connection. I believe in divine connections. I live in a divine space. And I just believe in divine connections. Please let your publicist know I appreciate the connection. And Erica Lamar, I appreciate the connection. And this is what happens when women connect. We just become stronger and greater with no permission, no sign off necessary. It only takes the two of us to do it. So
Absolutely.
as I end each podcast, each conversation, I pray you receive my love. I pray you feel God's grace, and I pray that you share it with others.